Hey everybody, it's me, Sean, and welcome to a new series of an old favorite. That's right, it is SimAirport back for another run through. It has a ton of changes. They've really stepped up their game here on SimAirport. I'm guessing because of Airport CEO, they want to remain competitive. And I tell you what, they new stuff that I've seen so far really is a good response to Airport CEO, I must say. I remember when Airport CEO came out, I thought, oh, Sim Airport is kind of the casual, cartoony version of the game, and Airport CEO is kind of the gritty, realistic version of the game. But I'm not entirely sure that that is still my feeling on this. So we're going to, oops, I got to make sure that I get a vehicle in here for, oh, we do have a baggage car. Never mind, I take that back. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good, um, uh, yeah, I like the changes that they've made, is what I'm trying to say, basically. So we have got a bunch of flights assigned. We have got our gates set up. I took the basic starter airport and made the usual changes. I set security zone here. I put a little pass through here for the baggage claim area. Put in our queues, put in some plants, rearranged the restrooms, put in a CFO, or put in an office, hired a CFO. CFO is currently researching pricing, which will basically allow us to start making a profit. I put in a couple of kiosks because the passengers love kiosks. And that's basically it, right? Some dumpsters down here. Um, yeah. Now, this is a pretty bare bones airport. We are missing a lot of stuff. We don't have as many benches as we should have. We don't have really any room for all these passengers to line up. It's going to make for a real messy start. So one of our first goals is going to be to expand out this area, move the restrooms and offices down into here so we can set up standard queues and everything for everybody to wait in. But with the limited funds that we had at the very beginning, as a matter of fact, speaking of limited funds, I should spend the money that we do have left to put in things like um, ATM and electronics vending. No, I did not need two ATMs, you nutcase. Oh well. And one of their new items, the newsstand. Passengers really love the newsstand, so that's a good little way to make some extra money. And I think that's it for the basic. Oh, but you know what else we could use is garbage, not new garbage, just garbage bins. Yes, for sure. Passengers like being able to throw their garbage away. I like keeping a nice tidy airport. This is going to eat up the last of our cash, isn't it? That was it. We are broke. And that's okay because we have all the staff that we need. We've got a bunch of flights set up, and we should be able to start making a profit. Now, you may notice up here there's a thing for the fuel exchange. That's right. We can now buy and sell fuel to planes. It's not necessary. It's seems to be a optional thing at this time, and it looks like a pretty good way to make money through speculation. So I'm excited about getting that set up. It's going to be a little while before we can get to that point because since we are playing in career mode, we do need to make a profit. We have 48 hours to turn profitability around. Otherwise, we're going to go broke. And if that's the case, you're not going to see this. So it's not really necessary that I tell you about it. But spoiler alert, if you're watching this, we managed to pull ourselves out of the hole. The main thing to getting ourselves out of this hole, I believe, is going to be getting the pricing research done, and that will allow us to make more money. Now we've attracted the interest of more airlines. Now I don't want to put any of these 1900s in there. So here's a new feature if you haven't played the game in a while. This airline available flight thing's so much nicer. Look at this. You can see when the flights are that are available, locked off ones that you can't use yet, which ones you've accepted. I really like this new um, setup there. So that's really handy. And then we can look at our schedule here and we can see we have room for a couple more morning flights. Actually, we could fit quite a few more morning flights in there. So let's go ahead and accept these two 737s in the morning. And we'll just slide those in like that. And maybe rearrange a little bit there and put that one right there in the middle. So we still have plenty of room for more flights. I don't remember, do we get the maximum of 10 flights? We've got 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Oh, yep, you can see there's 0 available. So we're going to need to build a air traffic control tower before we can get additional flights. So that is going to cost us $30,000. That's going to take us quite a while to get to that level of money. But while we're waiting for that, we can just watch our little airport, see how efficient it is. Seems to be going pretty well. Maybe I could use additional ticketing kiosks, I think. Oh, I could also use assigning these ID stands to the queue. There we go. No queues for our departing flights though, which is going to make for a confusing departing flight situation, but I think we'll be all right. Now, hopefully these guys are not, does it show what flight they're waiting on? Aerostar 4042, and this is Aerostar 4042, all right. So let's keep an eye on this guy, make sure he doesn't miss his flight or anything. Turn that speed back up. Waiting in line, getting his bag, going through security, making it over to boarding. Great. Abort and reconsider. I assume that would mean he would change his flight or something. But no need to worry. Looks like these guys are going to get on just fine. They're standing in a big old mass of passengers there. Scheduled departure 10:45. So they've got 38 minutes left, 100% boarded. And they're going to take off early. Fantastic. Good stuff. Okay, how are we doing on that pricing research? 7 hours. So I don't need to keep hovering over it. It's going to be basically at 1800, which means we'll be able to adjust the prices for tomorrow's flights. So we have positive bank balance. That's good. Hopefully that has reset the clock on our 48-hour bankruptcy threat. I've got a good 60% passenger satisfaction. I like that. Airline interest, not so great. Now, it would be nice to know how that's calculated exactly. It does not show the details on that. I would not like to lose any flights today if we can help it. I don't think that's really a concern. Not too many people getting onto this flight. Only 22, only 7 bags. But they're all loaded and set, and that flight is going to take off. There we go. Getting close to being able to make our pricing adjustments, which will cause our airline interest to take a hit, that's for sure. But it's something we got to do. Now, I think I'm going to wait until midnight passes before I make any adjustments, because I do want to see if our airline interest maybe goes up at midnight because of the successful flights, or something like that. Down to a negative bank balance again, and I would say that that's going to stay fairly negative because we're going to have kind of a long gap between flights and income. Oh, there we go. No, that's good. So hopefully every time it pops back into the positive, our 48-hour clock resets. I don't imagine why it wouldn't, but you never know. It could be that if you just have 2 rollovers into midnight with a negative balance, that it will cause you to lose. That's something that you see in games often enough. I don't quite remember what our airline interest was last time I was looking at it. 35.78. Maybe it was around there. But I'll try to remember that for as we get closer to midnight, because I do want to see if it changes. This may be our last flight for the day. I like that you can now see what flights are scheduled. So we've got one more coming in. This is really handy, and then we'll be able to see tomorrow's flights when tomorrow comes around, which is not too far away at this point. We could lay off our CFO, although I don't know if we can continue to make pricing changes without having a CFO hired. I don't really want to fire him because then if I have to rehire him, I have to pay his upfront fee again. Looking at these guys, $12,500 upfront fee, so that's pretty high. $500 hourly is also pretty high. That actually means we're paying $12,000 a day to keep him around. So it may not be worth it if we can't, if we can make price adjustments without him being around. Definitely worth getting rid of him. If we can't, hard to say. But let's see if our thing bumps up from 35.78. Oh, look at that, 53. Okay, so we can jack our prices up quite a bit without worrying about it. Let's go to 40. That is going to cause us to take a hit. There we go, but 50% is still fine. We can only edit it once every 12 hours. All right. Well, that $40 is going to make a big difference, I think. Let's look. We cannot do any additional flights. That's right, because we have to wait. So we're going to keep this at high speed, but we have quite a few flights coming in today. We've got 5 scheduled for this gate, 5 scheduled for this gate, and this should get us up to look at that. So now our estimated cash flow is $100,000, and it was what, $10,000 yesterday or something like that. So being able to jack up those prices. Now I don't know if that's based on like the level of passenger like fullness that we've had so far, or if it's based on like every flight being full, or what's going on there. But you know, being able to make $100,000 in one day would be pretty great. And that just shows you that getting that pricing stuff set up at the very start is really important and kind of key to being able to you know, make a profit. I had actually started up a airport from scratch and forgot to get set up the CFO stuff and pricing research from the very beginning, and that was a disaster. I actually had to abandon it because we were on the path to bankruptcy. Pretty frustrating because I spent like an hour building the airport and I spent 20 minutes recording an episode, and only to have to not have just like go to my file and delete it, start over. But that's okay because looks like things are going pretty great so far. I actually wasn't really paying attention what was going on in that last one. Now, got a lot of people lining up. So I guess one of the first things we're going to want to do is expand our ticketing capacity, and then probably expand our security capacity as well, because we're getting some pretty good jams going with this. Another thing that they've introduced in the new update is like airport employees have to go through security now. So you definitely want to try to keep your security stuff a little more clear for the staff to be able to get through. Oh, there we've got, and now we've actually got first class and coach passengers. So I imagine there's going to be a benefit to having. Uh-oh. I hope nobody missed their flights. So we have 36 passengers, 8 of them for first class. Okay, that's cool. Doesn't look like anybody missed their flights, so that's good. But I don't like seeing the planes pulling out of the gate and having people still trying to make their way through security. That seems like a real potential for danger there. But good. We are. I still don't think we're going to end up with $100,000 at the end of the day. I don't really know where that estimate. That must be based on having every flight leave full. However, we are looking like we might be able to buy that air traffic control tower at the end of the day. Although I don't necessarily know that we want to. Although we have these slow periods in here. I definitely think we should get more flights in first and then worry about expanding our ticketing and security. Even if we only add in like 2 more flights, that, first off, it's not a 2 more. If we add in 2 more flights, that is not going to jam things up. It'll just kind of help keep this flowing constantly, and it'll give us additional profit, and then we can use that additional profit to expand the ticketing and security to prepare for when we, put in a third gate and all those other things. So that is something to look forward to as we continue on. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and put a cut in here until we can get to the point where we are able to buy that air traffic control tower. So it has been 1 day, I think, maybe a few extra hours on top of 1 day. I've been able to push the pricing up to $60. I also lowered the runway usage down to 100, which pretty much kept everything balanced out. I feel like our airline interest rate is about the same. I was able to build our air traffic control tower. Unfortunately, there's only a couple of additional flights to pop in there, but we have a pretty good flight schedule. I think I could squeeze in maybe two more flights, one on each gate every day. So we are pretty close to capacity. I put in an extra line for security and a couple more ticketing desks, an extra kiosk as well. Now, one thing that I did for the security here is I set up a first class and flight crew queue over here, and this one is for coach and first class. So actually, you know what? Why would I have first class wait in that line? There we go. So first class should go through that line if they can. And I did the same thing over here. This one is for first class only, but it'll pick up coach when there is overflow, if it works the way that I feel like it's supposed to. So now next step is to expand out the area down here so we can set up a queue for boarding and maybe I should get a second boarding desk in first before I worry about the queues. Maybe that would be more significant because we could do that pretty easily. We go to objects, we go to boarding, go to gate agent desk. So we put in a desk there and maybe a desk. It's not really the best place for it because the position of those chairs, but I could dismantle those chairs. There we are. Very simple. So one thing that is new in this game is weather conditions. Not that that's really relevant right now, but there was a little bit of a delay earlier on because the weather conditions had gotten bad. So that's something that you need to be aware of. The PAPI lights help us out with the weather conditions, so we did get those installed. And then, of course, the air traffic control tower. I don't know that that makes any difference with weather, but yeah. Oh, highlight passengers. I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool. All right, but I didn't need to do that. What I want to do is assign you to that desk, and you are going to be assigned to that desk. Great. And that means I need 2 more standard staff members. Very good. All right. So we've got plenty of staff. Now I've got the CFO sitting over there doing nothing. Do we still need him around? Or should I jump? Now, if we get the VP of Finance, we will be able to have lower property taxes and lower income taxes. I don't know what our current rate is. Loans, land expansion, standby gates, road building. We definitely want upgrade buses and maybe operations, aviation operations. So they've put in a lot of new, all sorts of new stuff in here, which is really neat. Chief Technology Officer. Oh, okay. Advanced ticketing system. Oh, assigned aircraft gates to specific ticketing desks. I like it. Security system assign security gates. Oh, wait, maybe that's not right. Assign ID stands to baggage scanners and baggage scanners to metal detectors for precise flow control. I like that. Remote security and bagger scanners for more efficient security operation. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. So I like all the new research. There's also a construction foreman, which will allow intersecting runways. I don't know what else the construction foreman does. That doesn't really seem like a very good deal. But you know what we could find out here is if after we fire that guy, can we still make adjustments to pricing? Cannot update prices, must wait 12 hours. Okay, but that doesn't have anything to do with the CFO. But that'll save us a lot of money, not having to pay his salary anymore. And our day has come to an end. Oh, we lost some airline interest. I wonder, did we lose any flights? I wonder why we lost airline interest. That's a shame that you can't get a little more detail about that. But it does look like we have a new flight available for some reason. Where did we have room for one more flight? I think I could squeeze a morning flight in on gate A. And that would be from Pacific. Is it worth it for a Beechcraft? I don't think so. No more afternoon flights, which is what I want, but, you know, it's all good. We wouldn't lose a flight because of letting go our CFO, would we? It doesn't make any sense. Look at that, first class passengers using that first class line. I guess they have no choice. There we go. Good job, first class people. You guys are the best. That's why you get your own special line, your own special check-in person. I show you that I care, except for the part where you have to stand around in giant clumps. Maybe get the impression that I don't care in those circumstances. Well, we're doing our best. We're going to be expanding our airport as soon as we can. All right, let's do this highlight passenger thing. Oh, I guess you need to leave that open in order to see that. So obviously all the red passengers are the incoming and the green are the outgoing. So they're all on this side of security, which is nice. Seems like they're making it through the check-in process fairly easy. I'm not sure why they're still clumped up here waiting for this other gate, but you know. Cool. There we go. And if we go to this one, we can do the same thing. See all of our passengers. Not very many passengers for this plane, but that's all right. They're going to make their way in here soon enough. And our passengers seem very happy. The environment really is the biggest issue. And I thought I had done a pretty good job of, you know, it's not great, but it's not awful. I don't know what that is. Something the janitor's working on. There we go. So we could use a better environment in the check-in area here. I maybe could put another plant down in this area to help while they're waiting for security. But I think in general the environment is not really all that bad. Might put a plant there, even though it's kind of a bad spot for it. Yeah, I feel pretty good about the environment stuff in general. With a 56% score is not too bad, and then all their other scores are very high, which is great. I expected the rest score to be a little challenging because we don't have enough benches. We should have. Do we have any benches in storage? I don't think we do. We could always just come over and look at storage like this. Yeah, it's mostly toilet stuff. One of the cool new things that they've done is when you hover over, so we have 2 in stock. It'll show you what you have in storage, which is pretty neat. So I could put another bench right there and right there. Great, perfect. All right. Well, guys, Sim Airport, we're back. And I feel like we're doing pretty well. So I think in between episodes, I might let a little bit of time pass so I can build in this section down here. and then we'll worry about getting that set up when we come back. So thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I am glad to be bringing this series back. This is a really fun game, and it's just getting better. Like I said, I'm really impressed with the changes that they've made. And yeah, I hope you are too. I'll see you on the next episode. If you enjoyed this one, click the like button. Leave me a comment. If this is your first time checking out my channel, thank you so much for giving me a look. I hope you will consider subscribing and check out some of the other videos I do. I'll see you later. Bye.